Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to wing it a little bit this week. I'm going to do this in one take. If it absolutely bloody kills me, I'm going to do it. Slight change in format. Oh, for fuck's sake. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, shit. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. One take tone strikes again. This is take 3. I was supposed to be doing it in one this weekend, but when does that ever work? Where do I start? Slight change in format, and I can all basically hear you over the other side going, "Oh, for Christ's sake, it's not a gun." You may notice the titles have changed. I wasn't overly happy with the part 1 and part 2 thing. So I'm going to stick with Tone's Sunday service. The other half is going to be called Tone's Sunday ChitChat review. And hopefully from next week, with having a week off, I can hopefully record an episode. I can hopefully record one ahead of time and start publishing it on Saturdays. So that will be known as Saturday Chit Chat Review. Unless you guys have got any better ideas for a title, which all suggestions will be most welcome. That is how I'm hoping to do it from now on, rather than publishing two sort of episodes on Sunday, sort of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours apart. I thought it might be a nice idea to get 2 episodes of a weekend, one on a Saturday morning, which I can obviously record hopefully sort of ahead of time and schedule it to drop at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, nice and early, and hopefully do the other one on the Sunday morning, nice and early, and also drop that round about sort of 9, 10 o'clock as well. So that's how I'm going to do it this week. You know me, it could all change again next week, but I think that sounds okay. But any ideas you've got for calling the Saturday segment, just let me know. As I say, all suggestions are welcome. All I've got at the moment is it'll be Saturday Chit Chat Review. So right, I'll crack on. Good to see you all watching me on the big screen still, by the way. I've got some notes here. Jason P, holy shit, Tony Time on a 65-inch TV for the first time. It's awesome, isn't it, mate? It is. Chris, here we go. 90-inch Tony Time. 90 is what is needed after an hour's kip last night. That must have been on VR. It must have been. 90 inches, good lord, that's near enough a cinema screen. And Guy says we have a winner on the screen war. We certainly do. If anybody can beat 90 inches, you're doing well. You said watching it now on the big screen with crumpets, perfection. Me and crumpets, I mean, does it get any better? And Mark, just waiting for the missus to feck off to work. About half an hour, then part 2 is on. I like that. And also, it is great, brilliant to see all you guys doing videos. I've been waiting for this day for so long. Jason opened the floodgates, I think, with his 10-minute one the other week. He swore he wasn't going to do another one, but he dropped another little review a few days after. Mark's doing it. Guy's been doing it for ages with Callie anyway, but he dropped one on the channel, I think it was last week. And Chris, obviously. So we're pretty much all doing it now. I would love to see Caroline doing one. Caroline, if you're watching this, please do a little movie review. I would love to see you do something like this. Just 30 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever. Just give it a go. And then I think it is complete. You know what I mean? Because everybody else knows, everybody on the group knows that you are all more than welcome to start posting videos on there. The more we get, the better. I love watching them, and I think everybody else does as well. Let's see, what videos have we had this week? We had Jason's, obviously, which was absolutely superb. Mark, you did a Hidden Strike review, a movie starring John Cena and Jackie Chan. To me, that sounded absolutely brilliant. It's not really my kind of film, as it's mostly action by the sounds of it, but I am a bit of a Jackie Chan film, having pretty much recently just kind of discovered him. Unfortunately, that movie was shite. Or so you say. Jason replied to it, I could have said it was shite just by looking at the cover. Even if you said it was good, I still wouldn't have bothered with it. I can guarantee it's climbing its way to the top of Tony's watch list, though. No, it fucking isn't. Why would it be climbing to the top of mine just because it's shite? Yeah, okay, take your point. That's 2 videos you've done now, mate, and both movies have been shite. It's just bad luck, isn't it? You know, you do watch movies occasionally, and you know you've been looking forward to them for ages, or you've spotted them and thought that sounds awesome. And with 2 stars like John Cena, who I think is an ex-wrestler, isn't he? And Jackie Chan, you couldn't really go wrong, but obviously you can. Maybe I will give it a try, just see what it's like. Guy, you did a video about vintage Doctor Who, the Blu-ray box set that you got for your birthday, the John Pertwee one. Oh, I'm sort of umming and ahhing about this. I've looked at them all as they've been released. I even looked at some photographs comparing the Blu-ray with the VHS, and I've got to say I couldn't see that much of a difference. Now maybe the photos are bad quality, I don't know. You say there's a real marked difference. The only thing is I have bought pretty much most of the Doctor Who series on DVD, and I must have there must be 30, 40, possibly 50 of them, and I'm a little bit loath to start double dipping on them unless I'm absolutely certain that the quality is going to be brilliant. But I may just be tempted to buy one, possibly that season you've got actually, because that is a cracking Pertwee season, and just seeing what the score is with it. The only one I've got on Blu-ray is a standalone title they released of Spearhead from Space, which was the first one to be filmed on. It was either 16mm or 35mm. I can't remember what it was, but it was done on film as opposed to videotape. And was it that different? I don't know. I can't tell. I really couldn't. For the amount of time I watched them as well, or for the amount of times I watched them, I'm not sure it would warrant sort of buying Blu-rays. I don't know. You see, you're probably different. You probably haven't got them on DVD. If that's the case, let me know, and I quite get that. But with having most of them on DVD, I'm more tempted to finish collecting those because I've only got a small handful left to get, and displaying those properly rather than going for the Blu-rays. But let me know on that one. Your birthday haul was brilliant, by the way. That Dirty Harry box set will absolutely not disappoint. I've watched all of those 2 or 3 times. Really, really good. Great transfers on all of them, so you won't be disappointed by that. Jason, you did a Papillon review. Bin it or keep it, and it was a keep it. I saw this movie a long, long time ago. Really, really good. Obviously, Dustin Hoffman and Steve McQueen, absolutely superb. Didn't like the bit where they crush his foot with a boulder at one point. I thought that was horrible. But the movie itself, absolutely brilliant. As for the remake, I haven't seen it, and to be honest, I'm in no hurry to watch it. Papillon, to me, the original from '73, is an absolute classic. So I get the feeling, as you say, that it would absolutely piss all over the remake. So let's see what else. But Chris, you watched Along Came a Spider and did a little review of that. I don't think I've ever seen it, but that little segment that you showed on your video of the car crash, I know you said the special effects were a little bit shonky on that, but it did kind of make me want to take a look at it. And as for what you were saying about books being better than the movies, it is usually the case. As you know, I'm currently listening to Stephen King's It on audiobook, all 37 hours of it. I think I'm about 19 or 20 hours through it. And what I wanted to do was obviously listen to the book and then watch the movies. But I'm going to have to get a move on because the Welcome to Derry series is due probably next year, so I need to get a move on with that. But all you guys, thanks ever so much for the videos. I think they are absolutely brilliant, and please keep them coming because I love them, absolutely love them. I don't feel quite so alone up here now because all you lot are doing it, so that's brilliant. So keep them going, guys. Right, comments on last week's video. Guy, great part 2, Tony. Yeah, as I say, I'm dropping the part 2 thing. It's going to be Sunday chit chat or Saturday chit. Yeah, whatever. TV I grew up with. Really? You want to do a Pertwee show and think me and Callista aren't going to have a crack? Who done it? I used to love it. I did used to love that. I did, and obviously my dad was in it, so that's brilliant. That novelisation of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a great read. I got it for my birthday last year. You get scenes more fleshed out than in the film. You will love it. That is going to be my read at work on tea break, I think, for the next few weeks, that one. So I'll let you know what I think of it. I would like to watch the movie again, actually, and then read the book, or maybe read the book and then watch the movie. I don't know, but yeah, looking forward to getting into that one. Chris, I can't believe I forgot to reply to that long comment that you put in. I do apologise, mate. It was a complete accident. I looked at it, I think it was last Sunday when you put it on, and I thought, I'll reply to that, and then I went scrolling on through, came back and completely missed it, so I do apologise. So I'll address all your points now. High five for part 2. Thank you, sir. You're more than welcome, Chris. Working backwards, as I didn't make notes, but I think I may have to start an Empire subscription. I've also ummed and ahed since watching your vids, as I see so many things I like on the covers. It's a cracking magazine. As I say, I get pretty much all of them. Empire, Total Film, Infinity, The Dark Side, all that sort of thing. I don't always read them from cover to cover, but I do like to flip through them and sort of single out certain articles and take a look at them and this, that and the other. So yeah, I would definitely recommend a subscription to Empire and possibly Total Film. They're both cracking movie magazines. Jeepers Creepers I liked up until halfway when you find out who the killer is. That was a bit of a letdown as such, because obviously you like to be kept guessing until the end. But the movie itself was brilliant. Not sure about the sequels. I think the second one was okay, but the third one, watched probably about 40 minutes of it on the Horror Channel a few weeks ago. Maybe I was in the wrong mood for it, but I can't say I was overly impressed. Wonder Woman for a DC movie is great. Really did the comic proud on this. Great action scenes. Not watched it yet, so I can't comment on that. I'm a huge fan of the Linda Carter series from the 70s. Loved that. But I've not seen this one yet, but I will take a look at it. I did read a few reviews of Wonder Woman 2. Is it 1984? That one doesn't seem to have gone down very well. But I'll see. I must get onto those. Let's see. The rest of your Blu-rays I've not seen. Please don't judge. I'm not going to judge because I can't remember what they were. That was 7 days ago. If we know, we know. Who done it? Is it because your dad stars in it? Jesus Christ, not you as well. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Making videos for the group. I always find it easier when I have a drink. I'm just more relaxed and not thinking about what I'm trying to say. I'm not drunk on all of my vids. I'll leave that to Guy. Yeah, I think he does it so much better than all of us. And you know what, Chris? Whatever gets you through it, as far as I'm concerned. For me, it's a cup of coffee, a cup of herbal tea, or whatever, as rock and roll as I am. So yeah, whatever works for you, mate, you do it. Just keep the vids coming because I'm loving them. I'm currently watching the Carry-Ons when I get chance, but we'll upload my top 5 soon. Thanks again for the vids, sir. You are more than welcome, Chris. Steve Mack, 1983 was a great year. We were talking about 1983, and I can't remember what brought it on. For the life of me, I can't remember. But we were talking about the year 1983 and what a cracking year it was for movies. More titles that you remembered: The Big Chill, The Dead Zone, Yentl, that's the Barbara Streisand movie, Terms of Endearment, brilliant, The Right Stuff, amazing, Rumblefish, Educating Rita, Videodrome, Gorky Park, Scarface, just off the top of my head. Here's a few more for you, and these ain't off the top of my head. I had to write them down. Cujo, the Stephen King one about the rabid St Bernard. Never Say Never Again. Sean Connery's probably ill-advised return to the role of Bond. It didn't work for me. Of all the Bond films, I've probably got 2 that I'm not overly keen on. Quantum of Solace is one. It just didn't work for me, and Never Say Never Again is probably another. I do occasionally pop it on just to see whether opinion has changed, and it hasn't. So I have got it on Blu-ray, but it's not one I'm going to be watching anytime soon. Staying Alive. There's a 4K of this coming out stateside, August 29th, I think. Very, very tempted by it. The only thing is it's on 4K and you also get a Blu-ray disc. All the extras are on the Blu-ray disc and it is region coded. So I'm a little bit loath to grab hold of that one. I might just hang on a few months to see whether it gets a UK release, in which case I definitely will be grabbing it. Flashdance, absolutely brilliant, superb soundtrack. Christine, another Stephen King adaptation, one of the better ones. Videodrome, that's David Cronenberg with James Woods and Debbie Harry of Blondie. Brilliant movie, but weird as fuck. All the Right Moves, a very early movie for Tom Cruise. Class, I loved this. I saw it, I believe I saw it at the cinema. Caroline, we may have gone to see this, I don't know. It was about the time you were very much into Andrew McCarthy at the time. Andrew McCarthy plays a guy who goes to college, makes friends with Rob Lowe, who's the head of the football team. He meets, Rob Lowe takes him to meet his mother on a weekend, and Andrew McCarthy and her, played by Jacqueline Bisset, end up sleeping together, and it goes from there. Just a really, really good film. I haven't seen it for years and I wouldn't mind a look at that again. Local Hero, one of my favourite movies ever. David, what's his name? Not Lynch. Director. I can't remember, he's gone again. But yeah, one of my favourite ever movies. Grizzly 2: The Revenge. This one took about 30 years to actually get a release. I think it's got George Clooney and Charlie Sheen in it. Apparently it's not very good, which is probably why they held on to it. Blue Thunder, brilliant movie. Roy Scheider, I think it gave birth to a TV series as well. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. David Bowie's absolutely brilliant Japanese prisoner of war movie. Silkwood, Cher's acting debut. Eddie and the Cruisers, never seen it, but Guy keeps on at me to watch this. It's one that I do want to take a look at. Breathless, the Richard Gere remake of Abu de Souffle, the French movie, which I absolutely love. And to be honest, this wasn't a bad remake. Reuben, never heard of it, have you? This is a Tom Conti movie. He plays a drunken Scottish poet, and it's absolutely amazing. It is as rare as hen's teeth. You can't find it for love nor money. It's crying out for at least a DVD release or a Blu-ray release. Brilliant movie if you ever get a chance to see it, or if you can track it down. The Star Chamber, Michael Douglas, sort of a vigilante court type of thing. Really, really good. The Wicked Lady, that is Margaret Lockwood's... no, it isn't. It's Faye Dunaway's remake of the Margaret Lockwood black and white classic from the 40s, I believe. There were 3,460 entries on the IMDb for 1983. I only went through the first 2 pages, otherwise this list would have been a million times longer. I really do want to go through it to see what other movies are on there, because on 2 pages I bet I only got about probably 200, and I'd love to see what the other 3,400 and something are, just out of curiosity. So yeah, 1983, cracking year. Guy and Callie, I still haven't watched Console Wars yet. I do apologise, I will get onto it, I promise. Jason, you put a post on about a crop movie called The Flood. I watched it and I thought it looked all right. You saw the trailer yesterday, saw how real the crop looked, turned it straight off. That's another one I can tick off the to watch list. I've said it once and I'll keep saying it. I'll not waste my precious time on shite like this. I am one of those that can decide on whether I want to watch it or not by watching the trailer. This was one of them. So we're going to differ on that one by the sounds of it, and for obvious reasons. Jason Kerr, our Ginger Ninja, said, I've heard nothing but bad things about this one, so you probably made the right choice. I, on the other hand, am a sucker for shite films. 2 peas in a pod, Jace, we are. So I've added it to my watch list. Yeah, I know I keep saying I'm going to veer away from these shite films, but I keep getting drawn to them. And that one actually didn't look too bad, but I will let you know if I do get around to watching it. You also watched The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. Saw the trailer to this months ago and heard several good reviews of it. Jim Broadbent and Penelope Wilton. It's one that I do want to watch, definitely, and I will be grabbing a copy of that at some point. You put good film, that, not shite. Such a relief. And you put, I also watched another film earlier. I made a 2-minute video of that one though to keep you guessing what it was and if it was shite or not. Was that the Papillon one? Because I've not spotted any others. Has one slipped by, gone under my radar? So I don't know. But if it was Papillon, you're not wrong. It was brilliant. My favourite movies this week was Elizabeth Shue. I struggled a bit with this one because she's not had what you would class as a massive output. So I did struggle a little bit with it. Chris, you put, I was talking about Link, which I saw ages ago and quite enjoyed. Chris, you said, never seen it, now I want to, I'll just pretend I never read this. You could do worse than watch it. I remember it being very good. I believe Terence Stamp is in it. General Zod on Superman 3, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah, Terence Stamp. I'm sure he's in that one. Jason, I was gutted to find out that a stunt double was used for her shower scene in... What was that one in? Can't remember. Whichever one it was, it doesn't surprise me. You are rapidly becoming the Benny Hill of chit-chat. Piranha 3DD. One word. Knockers. Yeah, I get it. I've got your number, bloody hell. Soap dish. That was one that I put on. Chris, Guy said, not seen this. Chris, you said, this has slipped by me, but looks great. I'm on the hunt. It's a good movie. It's very reminiscent in a way of Tootsie, the Dustin Hoffman movie from 1982. It's set around a TV station. It's just one of those wacky screwball 90-mile-an-hour dialogue movies. I just thought it was really, really funny. I've not seen it for many, many years, and I would love to watch it again. So that's definitely going on my watch list. Scott, you put a post on about watching The Commitments. You loved it. I've never seen it, but I've heard, I put that I've never seen it, but I've heard only good things about it. Think it's one that I need to catch up with, and sooner rather than later. That was me. Jason P says, for fuck's sake, here we go again. This is why you should give these shite animal zombie movies a wide berth and watch some classics that you've not seen yet. The Commitments. I will be taking it in. In fact, watch this space. Rick, you put a post on, and I've not watched the video yet, about the most famous henchman you never knew. You put, nobody has ever henched quite as much as this henchman. I should have put his name down, but I didn't. It's a Chinese guy. Guy, you put, he's a legend. I mean, he probably is, but I don't know him. Chris, however, went all blazing saddles on us. Mel Gibson's nips. Know them anywhere. Fuck, seriously. That's me kicked off YouTube again. I bet if you're hungry, you go and get a chinky, don't you, Chris? I wouldn't be at all surprised. Go get a chinky, mate. Mel Gibson's nips. I thought that was brilliant. I love that. I will have a watch of that video and see what the score is with it. Gareth, you put a video on. No, you didn't. You put a photo on. Saturday Night Fever. Basically saying that it's an essential in anybody's 70s collection, which it is. I love this. This soundtrack has not been out of the car in must be 2 years. This is the first time it's been out, and it's going straight back in when I finish this. We were talking about our favourite tracks. I think yours was the Fifth of Beethoven. Mine was Manhattan Skyline. As I said last week, it's odd that we both went for sort of lesser known titles rather than sort of Night Fever or Staying Alive or Disco Inferno. And they were both instrumentals as well. I just think Manhattan Skyline is absolutely awesome. I never ever get bored of it. Fifth of Beethoven as well. So just out of curiosities, guys, here's your question for this week. What CDs are in your car right now that you're listening to? That's just one of mine. There are a few others in there, but I never thought to bring them in. So mine's going to be Saturday Night Fever. What are yours? Look forward to hearing on that. Just drop it in the comments below or put pictures on or whatever. Moving up a bit. Oh, now then, I've been asked to have a little bit of a rant about something. Lee, this one's just for you. We were talking, well, I said I needed to watch the Russell Crowe movie Unhinged. It's something to do with road rage, I believe. which is a subject that it's quite close to my heart. I don't get road rage, and I certainly don't do whatever it is Russell Crowe does to whoever has annoyed him on the road. So Russell Crowe is one person I would not want to piss off, especially in a car. But I mean, if I've got to have a bit of a rant, it's got to be about filter lanes. I know it's not movie related, but I've mentioned the Russell Crowe movie in Hinge, so that will do for me. Filter lanes. Somebody tell me, what is the bloody point of them? You've got a nice orderly queue of traffic, and I'm thinking mostly of like the Tesco Island. Burton residents will know this. The Tesco Island, you go across it, you're in the left-hand lane. The right-hand lane is a filter lane. So you've got a nice orderly queue of traffic, moving nice and slowly along. We're just being patient. And all of a sudden you can see the left-hand light of a car coming down the side of the, 90 miles an hour, straight down to the front, blinking away as if to say, come on, you fuckers, let me in. There. I hate them. I've never ever used a filter lane in my life because I'm not that arrogant to think that, you know what, all these people are just going to let me in. I bloody well hate them. It's the road equivalent of queue jumping, and I would like to see filter lanes introduced into supermarkets. Let's see how far they get if you put a filter lane down the side of a queue of people and get somebody walking down the front and just butting in right to the front. How long do you think that would last? And I know that it's a completely different thing, but that's how I think of it. Filter lanes are queue jumping, and I fucking hate them, and I hate the people that use them, and I hate the cars that. Oh. The other one, I might as well get this one out of the way while I'm here, is when you're again in an orderly queue of traffic, and you've got a queue of traffic on your left coming out of a junction and just slightly edging in. Now normally I will let one out. I will normally flash as I come to the junction and let one person out. The ones that I hate, and this happened to me the other night, are the ones that budge out and you end up with two cars abreast of each other, next to each other in one lane, and you just look across and you go on, you might as well fucking go now. Oh yeah, I'll leave that now. That's my rant for this week. Filter lanes, I absolutely loathe them. I do not see the point of them. Somebody told me it's to keep the traffic flowing. No, it's not. They were designed deliberately to piss me off and every other patient motorist that is in a queue of traffic. That's what they're for. Fuck them. God. What else have I got here? Very, very quickly. Dave Oliver, saw your Saw X trailer review. This was actually probably not last week, the week before. I don't think I get very far with it. I've only ever seen the first one. I struggled to make it through the last scene where he had to cut his ankle off. I've seen little bits of the sequels, and I'm fairly certain of what I've seen that I would not make it through a full one. Jason, you don't particularly like these either, so we're actually on the same side with this one. And I also put a trailer on for Welcome to Derry. The first trailers have just dropped. And Dave Oliver, Savage Zombie review. Savage Zombie. God, really? Thanks, Tony. Can't sleep now. Mr. Hardcore Horror can't sleep because of the Welcome to Derry trailer. Oh, God. Hardcore Horror? I don't think so. That did make me laugh. It does look amazing. I've never really got this thing with clowns. Obviously, clowns were a staple part of bank holiday television back in the 70s with Billy Smart's circus, Chippendales? Not Chippendales, they were the strippers, weren't they? Chipperfields. Fucking Chippendales. Yeah, Chipperfield Circus. So I never really got the clowns thing. My biggest fear, if I've got one, has got to be spiders. Everybody that knows me knows this. So whereas you would feel very unsettled watching the trailer for Welcome to Derry, I get very unsettled watching a certain sequence in a movie called Deadly Blessing from 1983, stars Ernest Borgnine. It's set in an Amish community right in the middle of nowhere, and there is a sequence in that where a lady is lying in bed on her back and across the ceiling crawls a huge spider. I think it's a dream sequence because somebody basically holds the side of her head, her mouth comes open, the spider drops and in her mouth, and I still have trouble watching that. So any sequences of spiders jumping on people or crawling on them, Kingdom of the Spiders, classic example. Um, schlocky, sort of shonky horror movie, but absolutely brilliant and terrifying as hell to an arachnophobe. Arachnophobia, that's another one. So yeah, mine's spiders. So I do get the clown thing. It's just not mine, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. The clowns don't bother me. Although if I was driving down a country lane, like I've seen on certain American videos, driving down a country lane and there's a clown just standing there in the middle of nowhere watching you drive by, that would unnerve the hell out of me. So, right, end of part one. I'll be back in about an hour or two, I should think, with the second half. But it's not the second half; it's the Sunday service. So, hope you've enjoyed the first ChitChat review. As I say, hopefully it should be on Saturday next week, and I'll be back later with the Sunday service. Take care, folks, and I will see you very shortly. Take care. Ta-da.